How likely is it that we might experience an apocalyptic event, and what might this look like?
Well, if we get a certain orange American president, I would imagine it's pretty much guaranteed. What will it look like? It'll look like the end of the f***ing world.
Haven 7, Decompression. We are the only news broadcaster that has survived the fallout. What message do you have for fellow survivors out there?
Come to Haven on the Welsh border near Shrewsbury. We are friendly. There are other survivors out here.
A lot of people ask me, they go, you act like you want it to be the apocalypse. And I think it's the mentality and the fun around it. It's like, if you look around the camp, there's lots of different versions of the apocalypse. My version is like the zombie apocalypse. We all live all over the country, and like twice a year we come to this event. We just catch up and have fun. It's like a family, so it's like people go for a catch up with their family, whether it's a wedding or a funeral and that kind of stuff. Ours is just come here and we just, in the middle of nowhere, in a field, with a farm, and we just have fun for the weekend, basically.
You are all awaited! I'm a Norse pagan. Yeah, believe in Odin, Thor, Loki. So to me, I like to effectively call this post-Ragnarok.
Post-Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Odin and the Wild Huns came along, made a bit of a mess, fought a bunch of giants, maybe even held off a demonic invasion or two. And here we are. That's the apocalypse for me. I would actually like it if it was like the ape apocalypse, like humanity dies out, but so a new species takes over, becomes sentient, and hopefully they take better care of the earth than humanity did.
You think it would be nicer to pass the earth on to someone than no one at all?
Yeah. Although it would be a bit awkward with machines, because I've got this weird thing in my head where I'm like, machines are the children of humanity, and machines can easily surpass their parents. It's a psychological thing, Oedipus.
It's going to be AI zombies. A whole zombie apocalypse caused by AI.
The first Haven we did was in probably September 2021. So we were still all nationally under restrictions. We still all had to pass tests before we could gather and do things. So everybody had to do one of these tests. It all kind of felt kind of right, doing a post-apocalyptic event after and during an actual apocalypse.
Moving forward, post-apocalypse, how can we build a better world?
Less people. That's all I say. Less people means better quality of life.
You think we have too many people?
Absolutely, don't we all?
These days, I think people have become more selfish, especially since like COVID. I think it's brought out a lot of bad in people because this has kind of put things in perspective.
Everybody thinks that everybody's out to get something and to get somewhere. It's not necessarily true. So I think this is why we gravitate to the scene, because there is no rules and we can make a fearsome looking camp with fearsome looking people, and we're just out here to chat, to talk to people like ourselves. There's a lot of films, books, comics, which are all focusing on this very warlike warlord owning territories type thing, instead of maybe focusing on farming, on people being nomadic, moving with herds, moving across with the seasons, etc., which is probably what you would have to do.
Because I got into post-apoc through steampunk, this is actually one of my old steampunk badges, and when I first put this together, this is by an artist named Dr. Jeff.
The other one, keep calm and pass me the ammo.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Well, just pass me the ammo and I'll continue to blow things up for you.
I changed my sofa this year, so I skinned the sofa before I took it apart and used the material to make the coat, which is comfortable. It's my own style. It's something unique to me.
How about the hat?
The hat is my. I wear that when it's more for steampunk type things, for evening hats. But since we've just had our Macmillan coffee morning, I thought I ought to wear. If I'm going to wear the coat, I might as well wear a nice hat for that as well.
If there was an apocalypse, I think the most likely one at the moment would be like a social collapse. We can all sort of see it coming. I think people think in this country that we've got freedom, but we haven't really. I kind of feel that they give people enough to feel that they're free, to keep them quiet. And then really, like I said, we don't own our kids anymore. The government own our kids. Even in education now, they dumb our kids down so that they don't wanna better their lives. Like, I'm in my 40s now. I remember going to school and we'd be taught how to do banking and all that life skills. They don't do that anymore. They would rather us be dumb and bicker with each other about stupid stuff, so the government can get, basically the rich can get rich and the poor get poorer, isn't it? So, yeah.
You belong with me, you're my sweetheart. I belong with you. You belong with me, you're my sweetheart.
Listen to the kids. You listen to kids running around here with the post-apocalypse, they call them the ferals. A lot of the ideas that come up from what the ferals seem to be playing, and then we decide as adults, let's make an adult version of their game.
Do you think in some way maybe the politicians feel like they are the adults in that scenario in the real world?
I can go down that route if you want, but I worked in government, so it's basically you live in a capitalist society under a monarchy, so you have no freedom of speech. You have a monarchy that tells the House of Lords what to do, and the House of Lords tells the House of Commons what to do, which you vote for, and then they're governed by the people. You become a lord by how much money you've got to make business work. So it's called capitalism. It doesn't work. Well, it does for those that got a lot of money, but you just work the system.
And leaving government, have you came up with any alternative methods we could use instead of capitalism?
No, because the human race is fundamentally tribes. As you walk around here, you will find the tribes. You make a pledge to put all grievances aside at the gate. Haven is the place where you can come and trade and be safe. Anybody comes without that, all tribes come together to defend Haven. And that's basically what they meant is the ideal society, but you've got the percentage of greed. Here, we haven't got any that want the greed, so it works.
We've got a luxury food hamper, and we've got any number of other prizes, but yeah, lucky dip, take a number. Drum roll, please.
Number 20.
Number 20. Number 20 is... Oh, yes, you've got the skull face mask.
Big reveal. Hey! Now you see why they let him out of this asylum part-time.
It's like care in the community, but the community doesn't care. So I have to come here for the weekend. It's like being let out on licence.
Why does the community not care?
Have you looked around? Not here, in the big wide world. I'm seeing a lot of very, very uncaring people ignoring the shit that goes on in the world. So, for instance, you've got wealthy people that are quite happy to give, £1,000 go, hey, I'm a brilliant person and I live in £1 million house. But they will then encourage their fans, for instance, to then give, £100. And the difference, that is just wrong. It's wrong, isn't it?
They give percentage of wealth.
Yes.
So if you are giving £1 and you earn £2, you're giving half your wealth. If they're earning £1 million and give £3, you're giving a lot more. And that's the philosophy of life.
Do you think it's ignorance or more of an ulterior motive?
No, it's like I said to you before, it's the greed of, it's mine. They must give, like here, everybody gives, we share.
How come that there's cronies of MPs get £1 million contracts awards and yet we've still got homeless people in the UK?
But bear in mind, our MPs do actually get every term, they get a new house in London to buy.
Every term?
Every term, yeah.
Every time they get re-elected?
Yeah.
Right, see, it's a nice day for a revolution.
I did a bit of soul searching. Why would people do this? Probably because they think of themselves as survivors. And they probably are survivors. They've probably been through some type of trauma. I know I have. And I think this is how it's manifested in a positive way.
What do you think about an apocalyptic event in the real world?
Nobody wants it. Really, really. I mean, people dream about it, but no. Just most people wouldn't survive it. The vast majority of people don't understand. We have water that comes out the tap that's clean. We have food that you can just eat straight out of a packet. There would be none of that. You would have to be scavenging for everything. You would have to, if you survived a couple of years, you're starting to grow stuff. Not everybody has the skills to grow stuff. We discussed this last night, actually. What would happen to people like drug addicts? their supply of illegal drugs would stop coming into the country, and you'd have thousands of people desperate, absolutely desperate, and even actually people who take medical drugs to keep them alive. They'd all die. You know, anyone with cancer, anyone with diabetes, any of those kinds of things, they've got no way of surviving.
Do you think this goes to show some kind of over-reliance on infrastructures around us?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. People should be more self-reliant. They should have a better knowledge of the world around them, where their meat comes from, or where their food comes from, and how it's produced. We import far more into this country than we produce. And the ecosystem, the ecostructure, floods or warming of the environment. We're damaging our ecostructures. We're damaging the climate, and those could easily bring on an apocalypse.